professional streaming man here, and we are nearing the end of my first novel, Descended Awakening. When we last left off, oh my god, I don't remember where we left off. Wait. We had finished all the. Oh, it might have been after the train. I believe it was after the train. Yes. Yes. I remember. Um, when we last left off, one of my favorite scenes that's going on. When we last left off, Eidolon and Sentry. Eidolon was in the hospital at Sentry's side and watching her sleep, waiting for her to wake up. Um, Also note, well, I'll say the note like towards the middle of the stream. But yes, let's continue. We are nearing the end. We are on page 277 out of 321. I'm so excited. One of my faves too, bro. Do you know what scene I'm talking about that's coming up? Maybe. We're on chapter 16, and we are getting to the invasion. Well, not the full invasion. That'd be weird if it was just in the first book. Oh, okay. Um, Shout out to my mom in the chat. Uh, Chapter 16. Archaeos stands in Haven Park with his hands in his pockets, looking up at the black, cool night sky. A camouflaged spaceship, significantly smaller than the ones the invader brought the first time, floats overhead, blowing and bending the trees in the surrounding area. They are in one of the secluded areas of the park in the middle of the night, so no one is around to report the scene. The rustling of the trees is the only noise that can be heard as the spaceship is mostly silent. It lands in front of Archaeos, and the ramp opens up and out. 3 aliens float out. One, a short one that looks like an orange goblin wearing a black winter hat, vest, jacket, and black fingerless gloves that complement his black sclera, the white parts of the eye, but his are black. Floats out of the ship to Archaeos' right. Archaeos is standing at the ship. He floats out this way. It's mirrored in this because I'm recording from my phone. But the second is a tall and slender but toned green one with a spiked head, purple irises, and a gold alien armored vest. Floats to Archaeos' left. The third, the leader of them, taller than the green one, wider than the orange one, brown hair, chin stripe, sporting a large red, brown, and black coat, and looking like a human, floats directly in front of Archaeos. They all land in the grass. You have done well, Archaeos. Make your way to the ship. The one in the center, Domination, says. There's a reason his name is this ridiculous. Pardon my ignorance, sir, but what is the next step? Archaeos asks. Domination pauses and stares at the alien blankly before answering. The next step is for you to return to the ship. As you wish, Dom, Archaeos says respectfully. He walks past them and enters the ship. The ramp closes behind him. Dom closes his eyes, and the green one, Xerax, and the orange one, Terrace, watch him. The message has been sent to the 7 we came to see, Dom says. Now we wait. Back in the Ark base, the Arks are sitting around in the common area. Ash is chilling behind the bar on his phone. Sina, with Icecap at her side, plays air hockey against Vital. Seismic watches the news on the couch with Ardentia and Typhus. Sina stops playing and holds her head. Icecap grabs her shoulders. Vital scores on her and celebrates, raising his arms victoriously. Hey, what's wrong? Icecap asks. Someone just told me something, telepathically. He said, be at Haven Park within 5. Sina explains. 7 all look at each other. Just then, a portal opens up. Oh, I didn't... Oh, he was chilling behind the Just then, a portal opens up in their base's common area. Someone resembling a hooded, armored angel steps out. Good timing, Seismic says, folding his arms. Mila just got a message from possibly one of your cosmic alien friends. No friend of mine, but you should listen to his voice, the angel bellows, his voice having each syllable echoed. Why, though, Apotheo? How do we know it isn't a trap? Vital asks. Listen, Arx, I would not steer you wrong. It is my sole duty to guide you, Apotheo answers. Can you not call us Arx? We haven't even met the ones that chose us, Typhus says. Not being the only one that feels this way. The time will come, but for now, face this foe. I will report back later, Apotheo instructs. So this is a trap, Vital asks, but Apotheo has already disappeared back into the portal. Come on, guys, you heard him, Seismic says, waving the arcs to follow him out, and they do. Kendra leans up against an alley wall with her arms folded. Lux stands opposite her, holding his hands out as if to surrender. Excuse me, I'm weirdly tired. Why'd you call me here? Just wanted to talk, Ken. Middle of the fucking night, Jay? Don't you have people to save? I just missed saving a few, actually. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? Poor you, Kendra says sarcastically. Lux exhales and furrows his brow. Look, I just wanted to talk about you. I know that everything's not going so well for you right now, and I wanted to see what I could do to help, Lux says. He doesn't admit to her that seeing the bodies of dozens of citizens on the train caused him to think about the ones close to him. He knew the possibility of the last time of him seeing them could be the last time he sees them alive. Just before calling Kendra out, he spoke to his mom to check in, though it wasn't the time of the month he was supposed to call. Oh, now you see me. Why is that? Because I have these now? She flashes fire in her right hand and mortar appears on the left. Imperium, what type of book do you read? Oh, what's up, Imperium? I remember you. What type of books do I read that aren't my own? Right now, I haven't actually read a book in a while, but right now I'm reading, in general, right now I'm reading The Ables by, no, this, wait. Oh, not this, yeah. Right now I'm reading The Ables by Jeremy Scott, the voice of Cinema Sins. I wanted to start reading as a part-time teller in my bank job, there's a lot of downtime. The branch I work at isn't that busy, so I've been looking for other things to do besides draw and sit on my phone, so I've just started reading. And I just got into Jeremy Scott's his Ables series. It's another superhero series, but I'm learning what sets his different apart from all the other superhero stuff. So I just say action. That's what interests me the most, action/adventure. And with that, that's, like I said, that's the first book I've read seriously in a while. For leisure, I don't really do that. But I also have a bunch of comic books on my shelf, my favorite being the Injustice series. But yeah. Also, thanks for the follow. I noticed I shouted you out, I think, at the end of the last one or the one before that, but appreciate the follow. Where were we? Oh, because I have these now, fire appears on her right hand, water appears over her left. Partially, but what you did in the street the other day was dangerous. A lot of people could have gotten hurt, Lux says, avoiding the actual reason he called her out. He didn't want to appear vulnerable to someone that looked up to him. I think it would help if you just have a regular IRL stream. It's better to talk and promote rather than just read. That's my opinion, though. Yeah, that's the plan after this. I just wanted to set a goal to something and see it through to the end. For this, I didn't really have any other plans for streaming. But I had an idea to stream. I normally have sessions like in the middle of the night slash morning, where I'm just sitting down and just editing a bunch of documents and stuff with all of my characters and stuff. Um, and I just had the idea to just stream my computer screen and just talk to whoever showed up. Um, but I also don't like playing video games on the stream. I know that sounds kind of weird. You have enough of personality to talk about anything, so don't worry about a strip plan that much. I appreciate that, man. I I try. Um, I also don't know what I'd be playing on stream if I were to play games. Um, yeah, I appreciate that. What did they? Where was I? But they didn't, did they? Because you and your whore were here to save the day. You know that's not fair, Ken. Fair? You want to talk about fair? Kendra exclaims. How about the fact that the person I loved since sixth grade has been best friends with since fifth grade is in love with someone else? What are you talking about? Lex asks. And then I'll continue. Don't play games you don't like games. Do what you like. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do the thing that I said about just streaming my laptop screen and um, trying to think. There probably is. I don't know yet if there's a way to just stream my face as well while I'm editing whatever documents because I have a crap ton of documents that I can go through and I might as well do it live with whoever wants to be there and who's ever there during this could also help me create the characters, which is I like the interaction of Twitch, the live interaction. So I guess I think Streamlabs, OBS, something like that. Yeah, yeah. I think I have. I haven't downloaded on this, but I had OBS on my Mac and PC now, but I have to re-download that. Um, and yeah, I think that'll be a good idea. I appreciate the idea, Imperium. Um, yeah, I think it'd be really fun to stream like creating new characters because it's very difficult to create. Like I think I told you before, I have over 200 original. It's very difficult to create characters for over 11 different series. So I think having Twitch input would be really helpful. And also keeping track, because I want to give credit where credit's due, keeping track of who helps me with what. I have like a little sticky note thing right here. Write it out for, I want you to write rap, write it out for a stream. I don't think I can rap. Or, or I think it would be a good idea is to have the Twitch, no, I don't know, have like the Twitch white also help write the rap. I don't know. I'm not good at. I've heard I'm good at writing poetry. I'm just not great with delivery. It'd have to be comedic because I don't think I can take myself seriously when I'm trying to rap. Um, but you're not. Did you say this before? Yeah, were you the one that said you write rap in your spare time? I wasn't born a rapper. I just write. Yeah, yeah, you were. Yeah, I don't think I'm not great at delivering raps. I don't think I've seriously tried, but um, I'm heard of good with poetry. So um, yeah, I'll consider that. That's not a bad idea. Let me write that down. That's not a bad idea. I'm a coder first though. Music is my third thing. Ah, that's cool. I Yo, props to you for coding though. I have never ever understood coding. Like I took computer science for 3 years. I think it was 3 years. And high school didn't understand and still don't understand a lick of it. But props to any coders out there, you especially, because I can't wrap my head around it. Music is my third thing. It's so fun, man. I That's awesome. I mean, I liked the beginning of it, like the easier programs. I forgot the name of it. Maybe it was Visual Basic. I think was my first computer class. HTML, CSS, yeah, I don't get that. It got hard for me as soon as we went into like Java. So it's beyond me. I also took a web class in high school, web development class, and yeah, that's the basic things. Beyond me. Props to you, bro. What kind of music? You said music is your third thing. You like play an instrument or something? Uh, Sorry, I'm trying to go back and forth between the reading and the chat, but just so the YouTube audience, it's like an audience of one viewer, but so they still have more reading to do as I read this. Play guitar, make hip hop on FL Studio, trying to combine metal and hip hop. That's dope, dude. I just got into a specific type of genre. It's like epic hip hop or something like that. I think Vo Williams is really good. I enjoy all of his stuff. Um, but metal and hip hop, that sounds dope. Um, yeah, you should. You have any songs yet? Um, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I see the way you two look at each other, act around each other. The only ones who don't know, the only ones who don't know you are two idiots. That's not how I feel about her. Is that true? Tech asks as she steps into the alley. Ooh, goody. What are you doing here? Lux asks. I thought you were still in the apartment. You just sent your mother away, alone, family wise, and you snuck out. Seeing the shit we saw in the subway, I followed you to make sure you were okay, Tech explains. But is it is what you said true? Lux thinks for a second before he speaks. Yes. Tech looks at the ground. Good, because I didn't think the same way either. She's obviously lying. Kendra rolls her eyes. Oh, please. Okay, it's not entirely true, Lux says. Both girls look at Lux. Look, I don't know what to think right now. I just need more time. You spend a lot of your time thinking, Jay. I always admired that, but when the time came for you to make a decision, you could never make one, Kendra says. With that, she walks away, leaving Lux and Tech alone in the alley. She lifts her white hair that's covering her left eye. Is it because of my scar? What? I know you saw it when we first fought her. I need to buy a $200 membership to save songs. I need to buy a mic record. I only have the lyrics. How do you work? Because for me, doing the part time thing as a teller is a lot. Like, helps me support myself financially. That's how I'm able to pay for an editor for my books. So, um, if you had like a part time job, that always helps. Um, it has nothing. Mm, yeah. It has nothing to do with that. I actually find you both attractive, but in your own ways, Lux admits. Tech's eyes go wide. I like how cool we are with each other, and as weird as it sounds, I'm attracted to Ken's crazy edge, but don't tell her I said that. Slightly smiles and nods. I just need more time to think. Tech finishes his sentence. Lux smiles and nods, and Tech leaves him in the alley alone. The Arcs walk into the park and have a stare down with the invaders who are levitating in place just because. Dom looks at Sina. See, you received my message, he bellows. Sina says nothing as Icecap steps in front of her. What do you people want from us? He says boldly. I have a vision. I create it by myself. People work different ways. I don't want a job. No free time. Um, I have free time as like I said, a part time 28 hours a week is like ideal for me because they have to give you some days off. So, um, that's how I'm able to do this every night, almost every night except Fridays. Um, you really have no idea who or what I am, Dom says bluntly. To answer your question, this is a mere test for the real exam. Real exam, Seismic says to himself, but before he can analyze Dom's words, he's hit with a tree. Dom has his hands out, indicating he was the one that just hit the hero with an oak. The Arcs look at Sina, who stares back at Dom. Parents are gonna buy me stuff when I get the good grades. Yeah, that's what my parents did. That's what's up. Um, so you're in school full time, like high school, college. College, I'd say there's more free time. High school is a full time thing though. Is telekinesis a common power in space? Or Typhus says. Apparently flight is, Vital says, cutting Typhus off. Ardentia flies over to Seismic and checks on him as the remaining 5 Arcs commence their test. Sina and Dom lock eyes and stare as the rest of the non-mental powered beings square off. Xerax, the green one, and Terrace, the orange one, land as Icecap shoots icicles at both of them. Xerax draws his sword and deflects the ice as Terrace blasts him out of the air with his dark key. Yeah, and study when I'm not playing music, working out, and shadowboxing. Okay? So you got your plate full, I get that. Ash steps in front of the Arcs, and his body begins to blaze bit by bit, beginning with his fist, then hoodie, then his entire body. Xerax and Terrace look at each other and nod. Terrace steps forward as Xerax floats above and aims his wrist gauntlet at the Arcs. Ash shoots flames from his body at Terrace, who stands. I'll be back in like 20 minutes. All right. Have a good. If you're still here, yeah, I'll still be here. Have a good, whatever you're doing, Imperium. And his entire body. Xerax and Terrace look at each other and nod. Terrace steps forward as Xerax floats above and aims his wrist gauntlet at the Arcs. Ash shoots flames from his body at Terrace, who stands completely unmoved and lets the flames engulf his body. Xerax fires a blast from his gauntlet at Vital, but Ardentia flies over and smacks the blast out of the sky to the ground. Seismic briskly forms a large spike from the ground to stab Xerax, but Xerax dodges and flies at the 5 Arcs. After this fight, I realized how, kind of overpowered I made Xerax, but I think it's good because I'm trying to establish that the Arcs don't completely know their powers against a seasoned alien that we'll go into his backstory. Not this story, not in this book, but another time, but you'll see. Ash ceases the flames and waits to look upon the ashes that should remain, from a blast at that temperature, but Terrace still stands unscathed, just with steam leaving his body. Terrace smirks as a laser vision shoots from his pupils and hits Ash directly in the heart. Terrace puts his hands on his hips, proud of what he's just accomplished, but his smile fades as the Arcs look over, then just go back to fighting Xerax. Dom and Sina continue to stare at each other. Originally, I didn't have what I'm about to describe, but I added it because them just staring at each other from the outside looks really stupid. Inside the mindscape of Sina, Domination invades, appearing, disappearing, and reappearing as she tries to hit him with psionic blasts. Sonic blasts are mental blasts that are essentially balls of energy and most effective in the mind of someone or something. When two telepaths battle, the stronger one invades the mind of the weaker one. They appear inside the mind of the weaker one, floating in zero gravity. Normally, the mindscape is full of sentimental objects and bubbles of memory. The inside of your mind is emptier than I predicted, Domination taunts. Sina's mindscape is nothing but bright violet with streaks of white. It resembles a purple sky on an autumn afternoon. The sky isn't normally purple, though. That's because I refuse to show you anything, Sina shouts, desperate to land an attack. Who the hell are you? Who taught you that kind of language? Domination asks, appearing behind Sina. She spins and tries to swing her fists at him. He appears behind her, back, and puts a boot to it, causing her to merely float in the endless space. Domination looks around at the infinite sky. I haven't been inside many minds that could block information from me. Domination fades and reappears directly in front of Sina now, gripping the top of the telepath's scalp with his meaty hand. Let's see if we can pull out what I want you to know. Back in Haven Park, we left their sign is mine now. Back in Haven Park, Terrace processes some information just given to him by the Ark's reaction to Ash's death. They're focusing their mission. They're focusing on their mission to defeat us instead of mourning their fallen. Humans are not as weak as I assumed, the orange alien says to himself. As he says this, Ash's body turns into ash, and Terrace raises an eyebrow. From the ashes rises a more powerful phoenix. I really don't like that sentence because I think it's super cliche. From the ashes to phoenix, and I hear it in songs a lot, and I listen to a lot of indie songs, so it just makes me cringe. I don't know why I use it. Well, that's because he's a literal phoenix, but his body is engulfed in flames and slowly dissipates as Ash gains control of it. I'm guessing you're... Oh, and also my screen name is Phoenix, so hearing them constantly use that over and over as that cliche just hurts my soul. I'm guessing you're fireproof, Ash figures out about Terrace. He looks over at the other Arks who are struggling to combat Xerax even all at once. Vital, Icecap. Vital and Icecap look over from trying to blast Xerax with Ki and Ice, nod, and switch with Ash. Xerax dodges a lightning blast and slaps Typhus to the ground with his tail, burying his face. The green alien turns and lunges his sword at Ardentia, who claps the sword between her hands and stops it from reaching her stomach. She shakes and struggles with it as she calls out, Seismic. Seismic tries to trap Xerax in the ground, but much like he did Lux in their fight in the training room, but Xerax levitates and shoots Seismic in the leg with his gauntlet, wounding him. Damn it, Ardentia says as she moves Xerax's sword to the side for a split second and connects a fist to his face, sending him across the park to their ship. His back slams up against it, but he gets back up and flies over. As he flies, Ash shoots another flame at Xerax, but Xerax dodges, and he gets close enough to hit Ash on the head with the hilt of a blade, knocking him out. Ash and Vital fire their respective powers at Terrace, but he dodges and deflects their blast by using his own ki and speed. Terrace gets close enough and cracks Icecap in the ribs, shattering a few. He cries out and drops to the floor. Icecap, obviously. Vital looks at him, and in that split second, Terrace turns his head to shoot laser vision into Vital's chest, but misses his heart. Vital drops to the ground unconscious. Seismic tries to simultaneously grab Terrace and Xerax with the earth, but misses them both as they levitate in front of the remaining three Arks. Sina still lock-eyed with Dom. Back in Sina's mindscape, Domination makes a memory bubble float out from the top of her head. He holds out his finger and pops it. The memory setting now replaces the violet sky of the blocked mindscape Sina was projected. As Domination lets go, Sina looks around at the surrounding memory. It is nighttime outside of her mother's house. It's like the memory now looks like a giant IMAX, and they're floating all around it. That's what it essentially is. So popping a bubble lets the memory play on this screen, so to speak. It is nighttime outside of Sina's mother's house. Domination floats down to Ares' front door and places a covered crying basket on the top step. Ares, Sina's mother. Please note that we did do some background research on possible parents for you. We decided Aerie would be the best choice, and given the way you've grown, she was, Domination says. We? Sina questions. But her question is answered when she sees a long-haired, shorter than Domination feminine figure standing next to him. Back in the real world, both Terrace and Xerax smile wickedly before they rush Seismic and Ardentia, but bright lights are flashed in their eyes and they stop to cover them. Seismic and Ardentia look back to see the truck lights belonging to the Alpha Corps. Commander Asai stands out front, and from the perspective of Terrace and Xerax, they see about 20 more silhouettes emerge from behind the truck, including Celeste, May, Detro, Akin, and Azo. Asai gets on a loudspeaker. Attention invaders. This is Commander Atsumi Asai of the Alpha Corps. Return to your planet now, or we will be forced to make you. She lowers the speaker. If we're feeling nice, if we're feeling nice, she says to herself, and the 20 heroes behind her. So those silhouettes will not be introduced in this book because I've been told there are tons of characters already in this book. So the next book, Anticipation, is the whole purpose of it is to set up, not set up, but give character to these silhouettes, these heroes that received the serum shortly after the serum was released. Because, when you're in a city and a superhero serum is released, there are going to be a lot of heroes that show up through this registered thing. That register with the Alpha in order to do this thing. So, around 20 or so heroes right now, currently, that are with her. Terrace and Zirax look up at Dom, who blinks, snapping out of the telekinetic battle, and looks back at them. He gestures his head in the direction of their ship, and they all fly that way. Sina plops to the ground, holding her head. Seismic and Ardentia rush over to make sure she's okay. The ship rises from the ground and shoots off into space as quietly as it came. That, action-wise, was one of my favorite scenes/chapters, so here we go. We're on chapter 17 now, out of 19. I mean, chapter 18 is essentially the end of the book, but chapter ? Is, technically speaking, in order, chapter 19. But that's not part of this story. So, you'll see. Chapter 17. Lux walks down the street. It is still the same lengthy night. He's physically exhausted, but his mind still will not sleep. The dead bodies still bother him. They were at some point with lives and presumably families. If he was aware that Ake would be there prior to the massacre, he could have saved at least one life. Now they were reduced to their purest form, spirits. This got him thinking about what the afterlife was like, if it actually existed. Where did these souls go? Excuse me. And Afterlife is the 6th book in the series. Don't know why I'm telling you that. That's just a little plug. Then, after checking in with Kendra, he admits to being fond of Tech, who actually reciprocated the same feelings. Thankfully, they both went back to their respective homes, safe from the dangers of the outside world, while he was looking for trouble in it, trying to find lives to save. He stops and looks into an alleyway, seeing a woman being mugged. He enters the alley and walks up to the mugger. "Hey!" he shouts, spooking the mugger. On the other side of the alley, the man who stopped Detonate's explosions and aided in stopping the bank heist, Antherman, enters the alley on the other side. Lux shoots an energy blast, but the blast blinks and flickers, going through the mugger and hitting Antherman in the chest, knocking him down. The mugger looks back and forth between Lux and Antherman. Lux looks at his own glowing hands. The energy emitting from his hands flickers just like the blast. He wonders if it has to do with his exhaustion. "Screw this," the mugger says as he runs away. Lux ignores him and walks past the woman who was almost mugged, up to Antherman, extending a hand. "Hey, sorry about that, man. I don't know what that was about." "Oh, it's no problem," Antherman says, accepting Lux's hand, standing, then dusting himself off. "Hey, wait, don't you cancel out other people's powers?" Lux asks. "Not when I'm close enough to them," Antherman answers. "What's the distance?" "Only a couple meters," Antherman answers. I think he said that before, in the bank robbery. Shoot. So I don't need to say that again. That's why I got so close to that guy. That's why I got so close to that guy that was exploding. But your power still worked when you were near me, when we stopped the bank robbery. "Yeah, I don't know what that was about," Lux says. He pauses and hangs his head down. Antherman rests a hand on the hero's shoulder. "We will find out why Lux's powers still work around Antherman. There's a really good reason for it. A reason I can't reveal yet." "Hey, what's up?" "Nah, it's nothing," Lux denies. "Oh, come on, friend. Sometimes it's just good to talk about things with anonymous people. Antherman assures, no judgment, at least not from me. Lux exhales. Can we talk elsewhere, somewhere more private? He says. Antherman nods and walks with a hand on Lux's back and scowls at the woman who was mugged. The woman watches them walk off. Thank you? Break. Eidolon still sits in the same spot next to Sentry, but he's asleep. An Alpha Corps representative stands in the doorway. Eidolon, the representative says. Eidolon slowly opens his eyes. You were supposed to answer the invasion call. I'm watching my girlfriend, asshole. Eidolon retorts. She has an excuse. You do not. You are to be penalized. Be in the Alpha Corps offices at 9 a.m. sharp tomorrow morning. If there is a tomorrow. The representative says before they walk out. This is obviously during the invasion, like towards the end, a little towards the end of it. The representative was already told that the invasion was stopped, but he said that last piece, oh, never mind. He said that the last piece was to make Eidolon feel guilty for denying his duty. I shouldn't try to explain things before fully reading a paragraph, because I know what I'm thinking. If that makes sense. Well, why did you want to fight them so badly? Antherman asked Lux. They're sitting on the swings at a local park near the jungle gym. Since it's still the middle of the night, no kids are around. I don't like backing down, and being a hero is the only thing I've been good at in my life. I'm only just average at a bunch of things, Lux explains. Was. Well, you realize that neither of us caught that mugger just now, right? Yeah, but we saved that woman. And on top of all this, you are fond of two people who both feel the same way towards you. Lux nods and Antherman sighs. I understand. First off, the easiest thing you can do is apologize to that rock guy. Yeah. And as far as that love triangle you have, I mean, I don't think there's a way to get out of it without hurting the other's feelings. Although, based on the descriptions you gave me, one might overreact more than the other. Actually, it sounds like she already has, Antherman suggests. Take some more time to think. You shouldn't be rushed into anything. Thanks, Antherman, Lux says. Hey, why are you so nice to everyone? I'm Canadian. Lux stands to leave, but looks above the streets and sees a bright light in the distance. He looks back at Antherman, and Antherman, who looks concerned, it should be nods, I think, and they both head towards it. Now, back to the invasion scene, even though the invasion's over. Back to Haven City Park, I guess. All right, everyone, good work, Asai says. But we didn't do anything. One nameless for now, Hero says. He has a small cape, goggles, spiky hair, gloves, and a symbol that is two connected C's. I'll just give you his name. His name is Captain Cadet. I know the name doesn't make much sense, but that's the point. That's all the point. No, I don't think your presence intimidated them. This went much smoother than the last invasion, Asai says. No, wait, strike that. That's impossible. Nothing will go smoother than the first invasion, if we can even call it that. But we let him get away. A nameless hero in a skin-tight spandex suit holding a shield says, similar to the shield that Noble was sporting. To be clear, this is not Noble. What's to stop them from coming back and invading again? I have a feeling we'll be ready. Remember, we didn't have superpowered humans running around before, Asai says. This shuts them up. Asai points at Celeste, the four delinquents from the keep, and Price, a guard. What? Asai points at Celeste, the four delinquents from the keep, and Price, a guard. They follow her as she approaches the defeated Arcs. Hold the fuck up. Who the fuck are these people? Icecap asks. Heroes like you, except they went through the serum process. Price answers with his gruff smoker voice. Asai leans in close to the Arcs and lowers her voice. Was this related in any way to how you all received your abilities? She asked. Sino leans back. We think so. Apotheo told us to answer the guy's taunt. And look what it got you. Lux says, walking onto the scene with Antherman by his side. Gotcha, your ass is kicked. I don't know how the heck he heard them, even though they were whispering and leaning closer to each other. But that is hopefully to be changed in the final version. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. And look what it got you, Lux said. Oh, I just said that. You're not making a very good second impression, friend, Antherman whispers. What's going on here? Lux asks Asai. Asai holds the bridge of her nose before she turns to face Lux. And where the hell were you? Did you not get the call to show up? Nope. Must have missed some of us, Lux says as Antherman crosses his arms and frowns at her. Give me your phones. You should be getting a notification. She grabs their phones and starts toying with them. I think I'm going to have it to where she toys with the app on their phones, because I've also been told that the app is a really very good idea, very cool idea. So I want to develop the app thing further. Lux looks around at the scene and down at Seismic, who's having Alpha Core medics tend to his leg. So what happened here? Lux asks. Another invasion, Asai says. Another one? Smaller scale, only a few of them, but we were able to scare them off, Asai explains. Well, wouldn't you want to capture them? Antherman asks. There's no need this time. I want their whole nest to come back and feel Earth's wrath, she says. You should receive the notifications from now. If you don't answer the call, you will be... Her phone buzzes. She takes it out and looks to see a notification. You will be penalized like this Eidolon person. Lux realizes she's talking about his friend. What'll happen? It's not for you to worry about, unless you're penalized. Or penalized. Is it penalized or penalized? I think you can say it both ways, right? Asai says coldly. She turns to face the Arcs. They have all been medically tended to. She swirls her finger in the air, signaling for them to all round up and leave. The light from the truck trails off as the Alpha Core and its heroes, going off in their own directions besides Lux, leaves. Lux stands in front of the damaged Arcs. The subjects enter the park and are approaching them. Lux looks at Seismic. Hey, can we talk? Seismic nods. Ignitro sits at his desk with his hands resting on his face. Isaac sits in front of him. So let's talk more about this Seismic guy. I want to know what you know about him, Ignitro says. I only know so much up until we fought, Isaac says. You fought him. Isaac nods. Once I received my powers, yeah, I lost. Pretty badly. And he spared me, even though I was trying to kill him. I had so much rage, so much anger in me. We had pretty opposite lives, but I was poorer than he was, and even though he has a lot of siblings, they were all doing better than I was. I was born into a broken family. My father was sent to jail for selling drugs, and he was killed for some stupid gang rivalry. Mother became alcoholic. She began chasing me with a knife around one day until I killed her in self-defense. Cops found out it was self-defense. Instead of jail, I was sent to a foster home where I fought every day to survive. I eventually got a job and met John at school when I was 13. That is not the story I went into for the backstory. Huh. So that needs to be changed. Going through the process of creating these characters, I went through several different iterations for certain characters' backstories. For example, Seismic and Isaac. I wanted their stories to be interconnected, which is why I'm told that their relationship is really, like, deep, I guess. So that was one of the iterations. That was not the same one that I just had. I think I can just take out the cop line instead of self-defense. No, he went to jail. Yep. Both of John's parents, I'll change it later. I don't want to edit anything while I'm reading. Both of John's parents had 2 jobs and he had 4 siblings. Why am I going into his backstory again? All of them barely getting by, but maybe we should just start the scene after the story about his origin is told. All of them barely getting by, but happy with what they had, each other. I didn't have that. John is also super smart, and his brains got him a free ride to Harvard. I remember him telling me, and I got so jealous, wishing I had the smarts to do something like that. Anyway, I saw him off to college when we graduated, and there he made new friends, but eventually was kicked out due to fighting. But this wasn't your average fight. John had superpowers, and he fought some gargantuan guy. Heard about that on the news, Nitro says. You'd expect a story like that to blow up, but I think the gargantuan guy's father paid off the media outlets to keep it quiet. Because that's what rich people do. Anyway, even after being kicked out, John found new friends and others naturally gifted like him, and he left me in the dust. He sounds like an asshole, Ignitro comments. Just putting it lightly. Sounds to me like you need a rematch. Use those boxing skills you used that night to use that night you killed that guy in the ring overdoing your powers, Ignitro suggests. You know, I will be forever grateful to both of you for bailing me out of jail for yet another murder I committed. What is it? It's a lowercase I committed. I didn't want to end up like my dad, Isaac says. Go on, find his ass. Get back here. Get back to me when you're done. We need a boost in morale around here, and a win would be nice. Don't win just for you, win for all of us, Ignitro says. Isaac stands up and shakes Ignitro's hand. You got it. Everyone good? Seismic asks the room. The subjects and arcs look over to him and nod before they go back to the many activities of the common area. Lux is standing next to him. Ready? Lux nods and they walk outside. I'll take a short note here. I give shout outs to whoever follows me at the end of every stream, just for right now, because on my phone I cannot see who follows me until after the stream, and I only see it because I get email notifications whenever somebody follows me. So we have a shout out at the end that I will remember to do. I'm just put the note right there. But yeah. Tech looks at them, sad to watch Lux leave. Ardentia walks up and pats her on the shoulder a little too hard. Don't worry, they'll be back, she says reassuringly. Tech rolls her shoulder in pain. Oh no, sorry. Sometimes I forget to regulate my strength. Come with me. They head to the infirmary to aid Tech. Lux and Seismic walk the street. So what's up? Seismic asks. Look, let me just start off by saying I'm sorry, Lux says. The reason I got so eager to fight was because of being a hero, and using my powers is the only thing I'm good at. I wanted to prove myself to you and the others because you're more well known than me. Plus, they've all seemed to master their superpowers, and I want to be there someday. I accept, but I should also apologize because I know I can be a hard ass. I just try to do always what's best for the team, Seismic says. The reason I backed down from fighting and Asai was because we fought them already for Ash's freedom. That is also not true. I need to go back and remove some of these lines. That was another iteration I had for just the story in general. In one of the previous things, the arcs fought May, Detro, Akin, and Azo for Ash's freedom. And I think Ash died during the fight, but he can't die because he's a Phoenix. But yeah, Asai's team from the Keep is made up of superpowered people too dangerous to be left alone in society. Ash used to be a part of that team, but he found us and left. When Asai and his mother, Mother Nature... What? Lux interrupts, raising an eyebrow. Celeste? Seismic asks. The eyebrow stays raised. The lady in the green dress, her assistant, the only other one that looks like Asai, Asai's age in that group. Oh, her. That's Mother. It's complicated. You mean more than it already is? Right. Seismic says. Anyway, those two were not happy about him leaving and wouldn't let him leave without a fight. This is all not true. I don't know why I didn't correct this. Speaking of, Isaac says as he steps out in the alley in front of them from an alley. What is it with people in alleys in this city? Lux asks. And it's a pretty big ass city. How do you know where to... I'd say you owe me a rematch, John. Isaac finishes. Go, Lux. This is my fight, Seismic says. Dude, your leg is still healing. Go. Tell the others where I am. I could just call. Damn it, Lux. We just made up. Don't ruin this. Just leave. That Lux runs back towards the arc base. Ardentia ices Tech's shoulder. Couldn't you just get the tiger to do this with his hand? Tex asks. I could, but I wanted to talk to you. We haven't spoken much. At all, really. I wanted to know how you were doing, Ardentia says. Well, I see the way you look at Lux. I feel like you're the only ones that don't know you have feelings for each other, Ardentia says. Oh God. He admitted to being attracted to me, Tex says. And why the hell do you care? And what? Why the hell do you care? Tech questioned. Because I'm having trouble expressing myself as well. To who? John, Ardentia admits. Really? I would have never guessed. I really look up to him. He's a very capable leader and other things. Look, you're actually the first one I'm telling, Ardentia says. Thank you for confiding in me. Tex staggers the words. I think we can help each other, Ardentia says. Put in a good word for each other. Act as wingmen, wing women. And how do we do that without alerting them? You barely know Jay and I barely know John. Ardentia finishes. Right, see, I don't even know his name. Well, we can fix that. Let's help each other. What do you say? Ardentia asks. Tech takes a second before opening her mouth to speak, but before she can say anything, Ash bursts in. John's in trouble, he says. I think you have a twisted view of our friendship, Seismic says, calling Isaac by an even shorter nickname than the nickname Seismic gave him. I mentioned that like 3 times in this book. I don't know why I keep mentioning it. What's twisted about it? Didn't you leave me behind? Isaac asked. Not intentionally, but you still did. I told you my life story. You knew how much I struggled. Welcome to the chat, Dad. We're almost done streaming for the day, but thank you for coming by. I told you my life story. You know how much I struggled, and now the more heroes that show up, the more I see you prancing around with them, Isaac accuses. What heroes? More have shown up? Don't act like you don't know. But I don't. Enough of this shit. I'm only here for one reason, Isaac says. To reunite, strengthen our friendship, Seismic speculates. Isaac, I got you. Thank you, Dad. Appreciate it. Isaac's glare causes him to stop joking. To kick your ass, Isaac echoes. Isaac runs at Seismic, but Seismic makes a small rock wall protrude from the ground. Just got off the road, but I'm here. Right, you went to, I think it was Pennsylvania, right? Yeah. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Isaac, instead of being slowed down by it, punches through it. Seismic, in response, forms a multitude more to slow Isaac down from reaching him. Isaac punches through wall after wall and finally reaches Seismic, swinging a right hook at him. However, Seismic had already planned for this as he cut the ground out. That's, yes, always, yep. That Isaac was standing on, making it easier to turn. Seismic turns the small area of ground Isaac stands on, and it causes Isaac's swing to miss. Seismic then stomps on the ground, causing the piece he cut out and Isaac to shoot into the air. Isaac punches the ground beneath his feet, crumbling it into pieces, and begins to fall back down. Seismic uses the pieces to reform the jagged shape to put beneath Isaac to cushion the fall. Stop trying to save me, Isaac shouts as he lands in front of Seismic and uppercuts him in the chin. Seismic falls a ways back before struggling to stand again on his wounded leg. You got stronger, Seismic asks, but his question falls on deaf ears as Isaac rushes him again. Seismic forms multiple angled pillars pointed at his friend to stop Isaac from running any closer, which works. How about you drop that barrier and fight me with your fists, Isaac offers. I know we both have super strength, but with you having the added bonus of being able to manipulate that strength, but you outclassed me in hand-to-hand, but I gotta give it to you, Seismic admits. Even though before he did not, and Seismic won that fist-to-fist fight. I think he's trying to, well, I wrote it, I don't know why I'm speculating on my own thing. He's trying to defuse the situation because, of course, he doesn't want to fight his friend or ex-friend. Well, now, anyway, I heard about the guy you killed in the ring, when you were allowed to box. That's the only reason you beat me the first time, hiding behind those rocks of yours, Isaac provokes. That's what you think? Seismic says. Okay, I give. Let's do this. Seismic drops the barrier, and Isaac walks forward. They both raise their hands, getting into boxing stances. Isaac throws the first punch, but Seismic deflects it before connecting a left hook across Isaac's jaw. The punch causes a shockwave, shattering a few windows of the neighboring buildings, but Isaac continues standing on his feet. Good punch, but let's see how good mine are, Isaac says. He fakes a right jab, but connects his left to Seismic's ribs with a body blow. Then he hits him with the right side of his body before leading another 2 jabs with his left, and then a hook with his right. They continue to trade blows back and forth until Ardentia arrives, floating overhead to confirm it's Seismic, then landing between the two. She tosses Isaac aside, flinging him down the street, grabs Seismic, and flies back to the Ark base. Huh. Well, you're definitely stronger than both of us, Seismic says to her, in more than one way. Ardentia lands at the front door and helps Seismic in. John, Ash says, are you okay? Yeah, Ash, I've never seen you so excited before, Seismic says. Just worried, we just lost those aliens, and before any of us could fully heal, you're out fighting again. What would any of us do without you? Says Ash. Ditto. Icecat wheezes out. His ribs are wrapped in gauze, because they were broken during the fight. Well, I'm alright, everyone. I just had to take care of something personal, Seismic assures. He puts his hand out, signaling Ardentia to let him stand on his own. I'm gonna take it down for the night. Do you need help with that? Ardentia asks. What? To your room. Nah, I'm alright, Seismic says. He leaves. Ardentia looks back across the room at Tech, and Tech gives her a thumbs up before getting up to join Lux in watching television on the couch. Oh, I think this chapter's almost good, too. Almost done. They all chill in the common area for a couple more hours before heading to their rooms. Saina walks up to Sonaro in charge. We have a room or 2 available for you guys, she says. We won't be needing to, Sonaro says, putting his arm around Charge. She elbows him in the rib. We'll take 2 separate rooms, please, she says, smiling. Saina walks over to Lux and Tech, who are both sleeping on the couch. Tech's head resting on Lux's shoulder, Saina smiles and walks away, letting them sleep. Guys, we are on page 301 out of 321. We have exactly 20 pages to go. And it is 9 o'clock, and we will finish it next time. So we finish the entire book tomorrow night. So that means Monday night, we're going to start a different stream where I'm capturing, and I have to download OBS, where I'm capturing whatever's on my computer screen. And I have a process, like I've said before, a process I go through when I'm feeling inspired, and just start going through all of the documents I have that deal with all the characters of this universe. Superpowers, I think the most fun I'm going to have once I get a larger audience is creating new characters and crediting whoever with helping me create the new characters, because I have a lot more to create with all of the series I have I'm writing currently. But before we go, let me give a quick shout out to my new follower, Phantom Zeno. I chatted with him last time I streamed, which was Thursday night. And shout out to anybody that stopped by, Imperium, Dad, Mom, and like I said, shout outs will always be at the end until I start recording on my screen, and I can always check my phone from then on. But I appreciate everybody that stopped by. We will be back tomorrow night where we finish the book. We finally made it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Base Phoenix signing off.